is Valley News Live at 4.
A new one for an East Grand Forks man is facing 2 felony counts after shooting a .22 caliber rifle in city limits and hitting his neighbor's home. Michael Powers is charged in Polk County Court with reckless discharge of a firearm within a municipality and recklessly handle or use. Now, according to court documents, officers were dispatched to a home in East Grand Forks on December 4th after the homeowners noticed bullet holes on the back of the house. Now, they also noticed a hole in the window of their son's bedroom and found a bullet on the window ledge inside the room. Court documents say Powers told officers that he had been shooting at a bird feeder for a couple of years now, and he would actually like to talk to the neighbors to, quote, make it right. Powers also told officers if he knew he was hitting the house, he would have stopped. He is scheduled to be in court for his initial appearance on December 15th. Well, taking a look at our sky cam right now, things are looking pretty foggy out there, it looks like. Let's send things over to First Alert Storm Team forecaster Summer Schnellbach with the very latest.
Thank you so much, Bobby, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk about that fog here in just a second, but want to bring you an update to our First Alert weather day. Still Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for that likely winter storm. Just some minor adjustments. Still looking to begin Monday night, south and west. Meanwhile, looks to end maybe a little bit earlier. Thursday night for most of us. Still expecting areas of heavy snow, some wind, and difficult to impossible travel, and still looking like the potential for a lot of folks, especially west, to receive 8 inches or more of snow. Isolated areas of 15 or more, not out of the question. All right, so this afternoon we have had increasing cloud cover, but we've also been dealing with some murky skies with fog nearly all day long. Visibility is only a half a mile in Langdon and in Hallock. We're at 3 miles in Fargo, 1.5 miles visibility in Devils Lake, 2.5 in Jamestown. A little bit better for some of our northwestern Minnesota counties. There is a dense fog advisory for eastern North Dakota, the central Red River Valley until 6 this evening. So continue to drive with care and remember those headlights. Slow down if you encounter fog because visibility can quickly change. And temperatures for all of us are below freezing, so this fog has been freezing fog, making things slick, also making things kind of beautiful. We've received some gorgeous frosty tree photos to our website, but take things slow and be careful. It might be a little slick out there. So we're going to continue to see areas of fog and freezing fog, and tomorrow we'll see areas of freezing drizzle and some snow. So we'll go over that for tomorrow's forecast and take a little closer look at next week's storm system as well in just a few minutes.
Well, it's like freezing is the word of the day and word of weekend even possibly. Summer, thank you so much. A former Minneapolis police officer who kneeled on George Floyd's back while another officer kneeled on Floyd's neck has officially been sentenced. Former Minneapolis police officer J. Alexander King was formally sentenced today to 3.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to aiding and abetting manslaughter in the murder of George Floyd in May 2020. Now, King is already serving a federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights. King's state sentence will be served concurrently with the federal prison term. Floyd died on May 25th, 2020 after former officer Derek Chauvin kneeled on Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes as Floyd repeatedly said that he couldn't breathe. The killing sparked worldwide protests as part of a broader reckoning over racial injustice. And in recent weeks, we have heard stories about people with dementia wandering off. Thankfully, they were found, but it is still a scary situation for families and communities. But sometimes it can end in tragedy, especially during the cold winter months. Organizations like Senior Helper are there to aid those with different forms of dementia.
We know that wandering can happen outside. We know it can happen in public places. We need to be careful with this population in general.
While wandering is an issue, Tanya says keeping your loved one busy is one way to help prevent it. And now is the season of giving and a time to recognize and bring awareness for those in Cass and Clay counties who are struggling. If you've ever wanted to make a difference, today is the day. It's Live United, Give United Day, and that means any donation to the United Way is matched. And because of donors to the United Way, people get to connect to resources and receive food to eat, clothes to wear, and also provide hope. And coming up on Valley News Live at 5, we look deeper into how impactful the donations go. We'll hear from one woman who talks about how important donations have made an impact on her. And in North Dakota, the amount of disciplinary action needed to be taken against North Dakota licensed doctors decreased compared to last year. Now, the State Board of Medicine brought 5 formal disciplinary actions against licensed doctors, including 3 sanctions that have resulted in physicians losing their credentials to practice indefinitely in the state. Now, the number is 6 fewer compared to 2021, and the board also reviewed 174 complaints this year. That's down 202 from last year. Alcohol-related incidents are usually the main cause of the board's sanctions, but doctors in the state also were disciplined for things such as substandard care and criminal offenses. Well, nasal spray used to treat opioid overdoses could be available over the counter by early next year, according to the drug maker. Mandy Gaither has more on why some believe this could be a game changer in the fight against deaths due to overdose.
It's an important weapon in the fight against opioid overdose deaths in the U.S.
Naloxone is a medication that is saving lives in my community and in my hospital every day.
Narcan is the brand name version of naloxone. It's used to reverse an opioid overdose. The drug maker says the nasal spray has now been granted priority review by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which means it could be available over the counter by the end of March.
Currently, Narcan is available without a prescription in all 50 states, but every state has its own set of policies that can be confusing. And that kind of confusion is exactly what we do not want.
In some states, Narcan is placed behind the counter, meaning a person would have to talk to a pharmacy employee to get it. Last year, there were more than 107,000 estimated drug overdose deaths in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The agency says synthetic opioids accounted for most of the deaths.
Narcan is very simple to use. It is safe, it is effective. It's something that all of us can carry in our pocket in case we come across someone who's experiencing an overdose.
If approved by the FDA, the drug maker says Narcan would be the first 4-milligram naloxone nasal spray available over the counter in the U.S. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And the FDA signaled back in November that it would support companies to submit applications to make the drug available over the counter. Well, kids in search of a new place to play in Fargo-Moorhead will soon have a brand new place to explore, run, jump, and get immersed in nature. The FM Rotary Foundation is raising money to build a natural 4-season playground at Riverfront Park in Moorhead. The playground will have boulders, trees, shrubs, logs, rocks, and water for open-ended and unstructured play opportunities. The goal is to raise $700,000 to build the natural playground and a bike skills park. To learn more or donate, click on this story on your VNL News app. Well, happening tomorrow, it's a day to be able to help so many kids have a very Merry Christmas. It's the First Responder Toy Drive, and you can donate food and toys for distribution to local agencies and families at Walmart. There are 6 different locations throughout the state, and if you would like to donate, you can go to the Walmart in Fargo on 55th Avenue South. Now, donations will be accepted from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And while we are just hours away from the FCS quarterfinal, the Bison taking on the Sanford Bulldogs at the Fargo Dome. A lot of hype is surrounding this game, and there's a lot of tailgating as well. Valley News Live's Jack Wallace is live with more details. He is at the Fargo Dome right now. Jack, tell us, how are things out there right now?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Bobby. It is a little bit chilly out here, but that's not going to deter any of these Bison fans from coming out for their 13th straight quarterfinal appearance. Is going to be against the 6-seed Sanford Bulldogs, and we got people cooking. We got flags flying all over the place. We have fans right here behind me having a lot of fun. So they're having a whole lot of fun. What do you think about the game coming in?
I think honestly we're going to handle it pretty good, but honestly I have confidence in our boys, and I think we're going to get done today,
All right, love to hear it.
Yeah.
See, a whole lot of fun today. Wrestling match coming up at 7 o'clock. That's going to be against Minnesota, which pretty good team there for NDSU, going to the top 10 already. And that's going to be over at the Shack, way on the other side of the Fargo Dome. Parking been pretty heavy so far, but it looks like a pretty steady stream coming on in here as the lots slowly are filling up. Been a whole lot of fun. Can't wait to cover it more. We're going to be at the next few shows coming up with more updates around here at the tailgate. With the Bison, Jack Wallace, Valley News Sports Live.
Over there sounds great. A lot of people are getting pumped up. We'll talk to you again in a few.